Hello out there. I hope everyone is finding themselves well and in good spirits. I just want to talk a little bit, um, just some thoughts running through my mind today. Um, actually, for a little while. Um, so this weekend, I'm going to be working with a particular plant medicine. I'll talk about it after the fact, but I just want to say that, when you work with plant medicine, number one, it calls to you. And I've been hearing it calling for quite some time, maybe a few weeks now, and I'm just like, okay, it's going to happen. And it's going to happen this weekend. And I feel very excited about it. But at the same time, what's interesting about it is that when you're meant to work with it, you know it. Like, you know it. And also, there's this sense of it working with me before it even arrives, before I even consume it, right? For it to work with me in person, I feel like it's already working with me. And gosh, it takes a lot of courage to say what I'm gonna say, but part of the reason I'm working with this particular medicine is because I want to break up the ego. And I've been doing a lot of mirror work, and it's helping break up some parts of the ego, but other parts of it wants to hold on very tight. And I'm finding that the more I push for the higher version of myself, 2021, I didn't talk much about it, but it was very transformative for me, in the sense that at the beginning of 2020, I made a 1 year plan. And for those of y'all that don't know, I was very sick, and I was kind of just not doing well at all. And I was living with my family. I went back to living in my mom's house and stuff, and I was just kind of working from home. And well, that's after I found a work from home job. Before that, I had a lot of issues staying employed because I was just unable to fulfill duties. I was unable to do life stuff, and working was one of them. But anyway, I just made up my mind that I was going to live. I made up my mind that I was going to be better. And more importantly, on a piece of paper, I wrote down a 1 year plan that I would move out, that I would get a car, because I was used to living in a city, in a larger city. And I was using public transportation. I was aware that, hey, where I live at, that's not a thing. You need a car. So I was like, I'm going to get a car. I'm going to move. I'm going to have an apartment with 2 bedrooms. I'm going to live in a nice neighborhood. I'm going to go to all the farmers markets and all the artsy events and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm going to meet people, and I'm going to make friends. And more importantly, I'm going to make friends with women. And some other things I wrote down. But don't y'all know that, also I said that I'm going to make more money, making a certain amount of money a month. And don't y'all know that, every single thing that I wrote down, I got last year. So that's what I mean by saying it's transformative. But it was like a mild expansion, because the things I asked for, honestly, they were very basic, but it's what made me comfortable enough to sort of find myself again. But the reason I need plant medicine is because I can't find myself again, the same self that I the same self that I left is not there anymore. And while I try to build up this new self, a newer version of myself, the old version of myself is just standing there like, you just gonna leave me? And I'm laughing because of how I said it myself. I'm so goofy. But anyway, that's how I feel. That's what I've been going through as I try to. It's like I accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish in that year. Transitioning from 2020 to 2021, I accomplished everything, and I still had time left over. And I realized that all I did was hit a snag, almost like well, some of y'all new generations don't know about it, but it's like when you have a CD with a scratch on it. And it just keeps playing that same part of the song over and over again. Or you got a record with a scratch on it, or a tape that ain't quite right, that became unwound, and all kinds of stuff. It's like that, where I'm not able to skip to the next track, and I can see the rest of the album. I can see exactly what I need to be doing. But no matter how many times I try to clean off the CD and say, okay, it's going to play this time, or you know what I used to do? Wipe it with alcohol. And that used to work really good. But it's like, I didn't wipe my CD with alcohol. I didn't put them like scratch cleaner things on it. Hell, I've even burnt a new CD, right? And it's still not playing. Like, I'm still not pushing off of this track. That's exactly how I feel when it comes to ego. And so this particular plant medicine breaks up the ego. It confronts the ego. And I'm excited to work with it because I'm excited to move on to that next step. It has been very, very difficult for me to separate the me that I've been in the past. It's not like I changed overnight. I didn't. My circumstances changed overnight. I guess you could say a year, or actually, it didn't happen in a year. I would say it happened over a period of maybe 8 to 9 months, which is fairly quick considering, like, I was listening to a podcast today where this girl was like, oh, the brain is so used to its routine, and the mind, if you've always made 40K, let's just say you used to making 40K, you might a couple of years make 42, maybe make 44, but your brain is used to staying in that 40 range, right? And let's just say you go buy a lottery ticket and it's for millions of dollars. You will blow through it, not just because of financial education. Has nothing to do with that. Is what your mind is used to having, and it will make sure that you continue to have what you're used to having. So if your body is used to holding a certain amount of weight, you're used to a certain amount of money in the bank, a certain routine, having a certain type of car, having a certain type of friends, etc., etc., etc. Like the list goes on and on and on. It constantly wants routine, and to push it out of it, kind of like it's a feat, man. Like, it is a battle. It's a whole battle to try and push yourself out of the routine that your brain is used to living in. And that's what I'm going through, of pushing myself out of the comfort zone and staying out of it, and saying, get comfortable here because this is your new house, right? That's what's difficult for me. And it's more difficult to say, as much as I've learned, as much as I've gone through, as much stuff as I still have to say. I find that I can't say any of it because I keep judging myself before other people even judge me. I haven't even said it yet. And I'm laughing because it sounds ridiculous. Like, another version of myself sounds like, girl. But the other half of myself sounds, no, like, I don't want anyone to know. That type thing. I'm excited for the changes that it's going to bring for myself, and more important than myself is the change that I know that I can make on the rest of the world. I'm more excited for the impact that I know that I can make on my community, the way I'm meant to show up. I'm more excited about that. Just bear with me.